Guys, something strange is going on with the Los Angeles Lakers right now. There have been a lot of reports and a whole lot of talk coming out about LeBron James and potentially him no longer rocking the purple and gold. And like I always say, guys, when there's smoke, there's fire. And there's definitely a whole lot of smoke and speculation going on right now about LBJ. And we're going to break it down here on Lakers Digest. If you're new to the channel, guys, my name is Hunter Pitcoff. I am one of the hosts of this channel. If you are not tuned in already, you can tap in right now. We are almost at 3,100 subscribers. I hope I can get that before the new year. Me and my co-host, Okechi Apakama, we are just under 20 subs away. A lot of you guys already watched the videos. A lot of you guys already are not subscribed. You don't comment. You don't even like the video. So stop what you're doing right now before we get into today's video, which is something strange going on with the Los Angeles Lakers. And here's what some of the top NBA analysts on ESPN are saying about LeBron James. Michael Wilbon, who's been around quite some time with the worldwide leader of sports, he said, but if you tell me if anybody watched the Olympics this summer and you watched LeBron James and Steph Curry play together, how can you not want to see that? I'm not saying it's easy when you will tell us all the possibilities, if at all, but you tell me the Lakers stink. Is LeBron going to ride out with another season like this? Why would he? And then on top of that as well, Steph Curry even saying over the summer that he hopes that there are more experiences like this in the future. If we're not teammates or not, still have to compete against each other until it's all over. And then on top of that too, guys, it keeps getting crazier. Kendrick Perkins saying just today that my sources are telling me that if LeBron James at any point comes out and says that he wants to be traded or he wants to entertain it, they're going to entertain it. It ain't no holding back. Last season, Rich Paul was the one who ultimately stopped this move from happening. So that is a lot of information, guys. And Michael Wilbon and Kendrick Perkins, Kendrick, of course, someone who was in the NBA, played with LeBron, and then also Michael Wilbon, now both of them covering the NBA professionally at ESPN. Those are two guys that are very into what's going on with the NBA, telling us that perhaps there's something going on behind the scenes that we don't really even know ourselves. And that's crazy because LeBron James, I think it's been under the assumption that he's wanted to retire a Los Angeles Laker ever since he signed that deal back in 2018 to officially become a Los Angeles Laker. Now there's doubts because the Lakers find themselves at 13-11 through 24 games of the season. They sit at 8th right now in the Western Conference, and it just seems like the Lakers are not quite good enough to get over the hump due to maybe just a little bit of an imperfect roster. LeBron James now in year 21, he is not going to want to waste year 22, I'm sorry, right now. He's not going to want to waste his final precious years in the NBA. And if it's not with the Los Angeles Lakers, perhaps it does in fact end up being with the Golden State Warriors. If we look at LeBron this season, man's having a great year. 23 points a game, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. That's toward the top of the NBA in the top 5. He started off the season shooting phenomenally, but now his numbers have really dipped. Now shooting below 36% from 3 after shooting above 40 last year. Under 50% from the field, which is pretty rare for LeBron. And I know a lot of Laker fans have been complaining about him turning the ball over. His 4 turnovers a game, that's amongst the highest in the league. And then the defense has not really necessarily been up to par from an effort standpoint this season. So I read the comments, guys. I try to respond to you as much as I possibly can and interact with you guys. And so keep commenting down below and let me know what you think of this video. But a lot of you guys are not big fans of LeBron, which kind of shocks me because this is a guy who is one of the greatest players, if not the greatest player of all time. He has won a championship with the Lakers, and if it wasn't for LeBron, who knows where this franchise would be? Because before he got here, guys, let's not forget the dark ages of the Lakers where they were arguably the worst ran franchise and the worst team in all of basketball for a good 3-4 year stretch there, right after Kobe retired, and even during some of his final seasons there, where he just really just wasn't the same player due to all the significant injuries he had. There's some really bad times there, Laker fans. LeBron James has made the Lakers at least relevant again and has brought them a championship. Let's not forget that too. And still one of the best players in the NBA. There are not many players who I would still take in a do-or-die Game 7 situation over LeBron. The man just knows how to get it done in the biggest, brightest moments of his career and still does. And of course, he's an enigma. The level of play he has, being one of the best players in the league at nearly 40 years old, turning 40 this month, and all that. But let's get into it, though, too, because how realistic is this move, right? Is this something that the Lakers can pull off? And if the Golden State Warriors are the team that is ultimately most interested in LeBron, is this something that they can pull off, too? So looking at their payroll here, we know that Steph Curry and Draymond Green, they're not going to be in a deal with LeBron James. But let's also note this, too, guys. LeBron has a no-trade clause in his contract right now. He's in a 1-and-1 deal, so he is technically signed through next season if he wants, but has a player option at the end of this season, which he probably will opt out of because it's going to be a year-by-year thing with LeBron, of course, in his career. But knowing that, knowing how the Golden State Warriors are an older team, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, both in their mid-30s, those are two guys that aren't going to be in that deal. So you look at everybody else. And LeBron James, with the no-trade clause in his deal, essentially could veto any trade that the Lakers put out there. So it's not really within their, I guess you can say, not within their best interest to trade LeBron James because they're not going to get ultimate value back. You look at the Bradley Beal trade for the Phoenix Suns that they pulled off and how they gave up pretty much nothing to go get him. You're like, how did the Suns give up pretty much little to no assets and get Bradley Beal? Well, it's because Bradley Beal also had a no-trade clause in his deal, and the Wizards really couldn't move him and get the value that he was worth. And so it ended up being a bad contract, so Washington just traded him just for the sake of trading him, so they didn't have to worry about it anymore. But you look at the Golden State Warriors here, almost definitely Andrew Wiggins would have to be in this deal. He's due for $26 million this year, $28 million the following year, and then a player option of $30 million in 2027. So Andrew Wiggins would have to be in this deal. There really is no scenario where Andrew Wiggins can't be in this deal just because of the Warriors' payroll here. DeAnthony Melton on an expiring deal, but he's out for the season, so he's probably not going to be in this deal. Gary Payton, perhaps a throwaway, because I guess for the Lakers, if you're trading a guy like LeBron James, are you ultimately willing, are you going to be tanking, or are you really just kind of try to rebuild here? Because Anthony Davis is still on your roster. And so the Lakers kind of have their arms tied here. Perhaps they end up getting a guy like Moses Moody in this deal, who's due for a good amount of money. But even then, if you combine him and Wiggins' contracts there, for this year alone, they end up combining for $29 million. Like, that's not going to be enough. There probably would have to be a third team involved in this one to make this trade work. And because of all those moving parts, guys, I just don't see it being realistic. I still do think that LeBron James, while he might entertain the possibility of playing with Steph Curry, I believe both those guys, LeBron and Steph, will ultimately retire on the teams they're currently on in LA and Golden State. I think it's what the fans want. And that's probably what their family wants, too. I mean, LeBron right now is also playing with his son, Bronny. And I probably, if LeBron ever were to leave, I think Bronny is immediately gone from the Lakers. Clearly, it's showing more and more and more that this was more of a making LeBron happy move. And also signing J.J. Redick was arguably a making LeBron happy move. So you got two of LeBron's, close, his son and a close colleague of his, and J.J. Redick, already here. We know the Rich Paul influence on the Lakers. So for me, it's like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's fun to think, potentially. I know some of you guys here on Lakers Digest are fans. You don't necessarily think LeBron is the answer here, but it is what it is. He's going to be here. He'll be here this season. We'll see year by year. But I think if he ultimately leaves the Lakers, it's because he retires and not because he gets traded or signs somewhere else. But let me know down below. What do you think? Do you think LeBron James ultimately leaves? Do you think that the Lakers should entertain moving him? Is it even possible? I don't know. Probably not. But again, guys, Lakers' next game is on Friday here against the Minnesota Timberwolves. We have a lot of space and not a lot of news. So I'm going to try my best to keep you all entertained. Entertained, guys, is not a word. We just made that up here on the channel. Maybe you have to get that in the dictionary or something like that. But anyways, guys, again, I'm going to just put it up one more time just to be annoying with it. If you're already subscribed, thank you. But if you're not, we're just under 20 away. And again, my New Year's resolution before the year even starts, guys, is to get to 31 subs. I think it's very possible. We're on a very upward trajectory. Last month, we hit 3,000. We could definitely hit 31 before the end of 2024. Let's do it for this guy, number 24 himself, Kobe Bryant. He would want us supporting the Lakers. We all support the Lakers. And you can go support this channel here on Lakers Digest. I'm Hunter Pitcoff. I'll see you guys on the other side.